So now let us discuss circuit solutions for RC circuits. So what are circuit solutions? Basically in this section, we are going to discuss that what will happen if we connect our capacitor to a DC battery. So when we do that, then what happens at initial stage and final stage, means at t is equal to 0 and after a long duration. So now, charge on the capacitor does not change instantaneously or suddenly. Like if we are charging a capacitor, like we have connected a discharge capacitor to a battery, then basically that is going to be charged, but it will take some certain time. That time will be obviously very less, but it will not be very sudden. Okay, it can't be instantaneously, because and if there is a resistance in the path, if there is no resistance, then capacitor kind of immediately gets charged. Now, this is the second situation when an uncharged capacitor is connected with a battery like this. So this is an uncharged capacitor, this is a battery, and there is a resistance. Okay, so when it is connected to that, then as soon as we switch on this circuit, then before connection, as soon as we make the connection, this capacitor behaves like wire. What does it mean? It means that it has infinite ability to conduct. So whatever amount of charge comes on it, it immediately gets charged, or immediately comes on this plate and it immediately gets transferred from here. So charge flows through it like it is just a wire. So at t is equal to 0, a discharge capacitor can simply be replaced by a conductor wire, and the circuit can be solved. If we are talking about at t is equal to infinity or after a long duration, then if we are talking about after a long duration, then current will zero finally. So once we connect it, and after long duration, okay, after long duration means at t is equal to infinity, what happens is this capacitor gets charged completely, and now it just behaves as if it is a broken wire. It does not conduct the, like it does not has the ability to take out any more charge, and hence the current in the branch of the capacitor has to be zero. If there is no current over here, then no current should be coming from battery. So battery won't be giving out any current. The entire potential difference of the battery is just across this, not across the resistor. Now let us do a question and apply these things which we just learned. First is, this is a different question. So it is just asking, a capacitor of capacity is 1 microfarad is charged to a potential of difference of 1 kilovolt. The energy stored in the capacitor, we can simply apply half CV square. So half, the capacitance is 1 microfarad. So 1 into 10 raised to power minus 6 into V square. The potential difference is 1 kilovolt. So 10 raised to power 3 and square of that. So this is 6, this is 6. Answer is simply half joule, and that is 0.5 joule is the answer. Now let us have a look at the another question where we are doing the capacitor in a circuit. So here we have a capacitor which is connected to a 2 ohm resistance, and this switch is basically off, and now at t is equal to 0 or just after the switch is closed, what is the current? They are asking find out the current in the circuit. So how much current is flowing? I am saying initially when we are just connecting it, it can be treated as a wire, and now forget that there was a capacitor. We can simply say that the V is equal to IR can be applied, and now we can write that it is 10 volt, the current is, let's say, I, and the resistance is simply 2 ohms. So current comes to be 5 amperes. So immediately once we close this switch, immediately at that moment the 5 ampere current will start flowing. What will happen next? We are not talking about that now. We are going to discuss that in transient circuit, okay, once we learn the current electricity. But after a long time, when switch is closed, what is the current that can be done? So we know that once the switch is closed for a long duration, it will get charged completely and it will behave as a broken wire. So there is like no connection over here, and now we can say the current over here should be 0, as if the circuit is not complete, no current would be flowing. So answer is 0. Now next question is, find out the current I1, I2 and I3, the charge on capacitor and dq by dt of the capacitor. What is dq by dt? dq by dt of this capacitor, the rate of change in charge, the charge per unit time is what? Current. So they are asking current in this capacitor, that is same as I2. So that dq by dt is nothing but the I2. And now in the circuit which is initially uncharged, this capacitor is initially uncharged in the following situation. First is just after the switch is closed. As soon as we close the switch, then this behaves as this is a discharge capacitor, so this just behaves as a wire. And now we can treat this circuit as a normal circuit. We'll say this R and this R, the equivalent capacitance in parallel is R by 2. With this R in series becomes 3R by 2, and I am applying V is equal to IR. So this is I. The current is the current flowing through the battery, which is nothing but I1. So I can write this is I1. And what about the total resistance of the circuit? 3R by 2. That gives me that my I1 is nothing but 2E by 3R. Once this 2E by 3R current comes over here, it is one branch is this, other branch is this, which are identical branches, because in this region also we have a wire and this capacitor is also behaving like a wire. So equal currents will go in both of them. So I can simply say that my I2 and I3 both are equal and they are just half of them. So the current will be split in two parts, E by 3R and E by 3R will combine back and come back to the battery. One more thing which is asked is the charge on the capacitor. How much is the charge on capacitor? So as we just started it, right? The switch is just closed. So there is no charge on the capacitor. The charge will accumulate with the time. It will take time to make that capacitor charge, or it will take some time for charge to accumulate on this capacitor. Now let us discuss the next situation after a long time when switch is closed. What happens after a long time? After a long time, this behaves as a broken wire. This branch is like, this current will become zero, because if this current goes, then this branch is like not connected. We are talking about after a long duration or after a long time. So after a long time, capacitor behaves as a broken branch or no current flows through it. So eventually I2 is zero. Now only this is our circuit. And now I can simply say that the current is flowing from here and coming like this. So I1 and I3 both are equal and they are E divided by, like the potential difference divided by total resistance, which is simply 2R. What about the current I2? I2 or dq by dt of the capacitor, it is 0. Now next is, what is the charge? Charge on the capacitor. So if we are talking about charge on the capacitor, then see, the current which is flowing through it is nothing but E by 2R. This is the current which is I3 through this. So what is the potential difference across that? So potential difference across these two is nothing but I into R, right? So V is equal to IR. So I is E by 2R into R. That gives me E by 2. So this potential difference is E by 2. If that potential difference is E by 2, then potential difference across this resistor and potential difference across this capacitor, the addition of these two potential difference must be E by 2. Now what I am saying is that I2 is 0. So what about I2 into R? Potential difference across that is 0. So entire E by 2 potential difference is across the capacitor. And I can write for the capacitor Q is equal to CV. So charge we have to find, capacitance is C and the potential difference is E by 2. So the final charge on capacitor is CE by 2. Now next is the distribution of charges on connecting two charge capacitors. So when we connect two charge capacitor, then charges get redistributed. So what is the things which we have to find is, one thing which we have to get is the new charge. So let us say that C1 and C2, they are initially connected, they are having some charges. The C1 is having charge plus Q1 and minus Q1. We can simply say the capacitor C1 is having charge Q1. Capacitor C2 is having charge Q2 on it. And now when we connect them, okay, this is initial situation. When we connect them, initially they were not connected. There was a switch over here. When we connect it, then what happens is that there is a redistribution of charge. The charges flows. And let us say the final charges on C1 is Q1 dash. Final charge on C2 is Q2 dash. Okay, so what are the quantities which are changing over here is the capacitance is initially and finally both is C1 and C2, so they remain same C1 and C2. What happens with the charges? This was Q1 and Q2, so charges becomes Q1 dash and Q2 dash. This is what we have assumed. Now, what about the potential differences? Across this, initially the potential difference was V1. Across this, the potential difference was potential difference across C2 was V2. And now when they are connected and the distribution of charges has completely stopped, then potential difference across both of them is simply V. So we know that final potential difference across both of them has to be equal. So we are saying V and V. Now let us find the common potential. How do you find common potential? For that, I can simply conserve my charge because charge is just flowing. Charge is not going out of the system, right? So charge will remain conserved. What is the initial charge? The total charge on both the capacitor combined were Q1 and Q2. What about the final charge on both the system combined? It is Q1 dash and Q2 dash. What is Q1 dash? We know that potential difference across both of them is V. If capacitance is C1, then we can write the charge Q1 dash is nothing but C1V. Similarly, Q2 dash is C2V. So we can write C1V plus C2V, that is Q1 dash plus Q2 dash. So it is C1V plus C2V, and eventually that is C1 plus C2 times V. If we want to get V, which is the common potential, then we can simply say V is equal to Q1 plus Q2 upon C1 plus C2. That is what? The Q1 plus Q2 is like total charge upon C1 plus C2 is like what? They are connected in parallel because they have both the same potential difference. So total capacitance is like C1 plus C2. So final formula is the potential difference is total charge upon total capacitance. So it is directly simple formula. We can say that this is the common potential which is going to be at the end. Once we have the common potential, then charges on each capacitor can be easily found. If we say that what is Q1 dash? It was C1V. C1 is C. What is V? V is the common potential, that is total charge, which is Q1 plus Q2 upon total capacitance, which is C1 plus C2. So I am writing this in slightly different manner. I am writing it is C1 upon C1 plus C2 into total charge, that is Q1 plus Q2. And likewise, we can go for Q2 dash also, that is C2 into V. So only C2 will be here. This thing will be same. So what we get is this. These are the final charges on each of the capacitors. Now next is heat loss during redistribution. So when redistribution takes place, what happens is the potential energy changes. If potential energy is changing, then this is the loss of the, if initial potential energy is higher, final is lesser, then we will say that there will be a loss of potential energy, and eventually whatever is the loss of potential energy, that will be generated in the form of heat. Okay, so let us find the formula for that. Now, what was the initial potential energy? The capacitor C1 was having a potential energy as half C1 V1 square. What about capacitor 2? Half C2 V2 square. This is my initial potential energy minus. What is my final potential energy? So final potential energy of first capacitor is half C1 V square. Of second one is half C2 V square. What is V? V is the common potential, which is nothing but total charge upon total capacitance. What I am going to do is I can take half common from entire equation. C1 V1 square plus C2 V2 square minus. Here let us leave it like this, and here I am again half I have already taken out. Now I am just taking V square as common. So I am left with C1 plus C2 into V square. What is V square? Total charge upon total capacitance. Total capacitance is C1 plus C2. Total charge Q1 plus Q2. But instead of Q1 plus Q2, I am writing C1V1. That is the initial charge on capacitor 1 plus C2 into V2. That is initial charge on capacitor 2 and square of the whole thing. This entire thing square is like square over here and square over here. What I can do is this can be cancelled out over here, and in the entire thing I am taking C1 plus C2 as a common LCM. So here I am left with C1 plus C2. Now C1 plus C2 into this entire thing. So first I am multiplying entire thing with C1, then I will multiply with C2. So when I multiply with C1, I get C1 square V1 square plus C2 C1 V2 square. I multiplied them with C1. Now multiplied with C2. C1 C2 V1 square. C2 is square V2 square. There is a minus sign. And then this is what? C1 V1 plus C2 V2 whole square. So what do we get? We get A square, which is like C1 V1 whole square, plus B square, which is C2 V2 whole square, plus 2AB. So that is 2C1 V1, that is C1 V1 C2 V2. So 2C1 C2 V1 V2. This is what we are getting. And there is one more thing. I did the square, but there is minus in front of each and every quantity. So this will also become negative and this will also become negative, right? Now, I can simply say, let us just simplify this. So here C1 square V1 square will be cancelled out by this minus C1 square V1 square. C2 square V2 square will be cancelled out by this, and eventually these three terms, this and this, all these three terms all are having C1 C2 in them. So I can take that as common. So what I am left with is half C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2. This C1 plus C2 also I have taken out. And now here this is V2 square V1 square. V2 square plus V1 square minus 2V1 V2. And if you see this, this is the formula for V2 minus V1 whole square. So what we get, the final answer is half C1 C2 upon C1 plus C2 V1 minus V2 or V2 minus V1 whole square. So this is the expression which you need to remember. If you are able to remember this expression, then it will be useful, as in a lot of time they ask us what is the heat produced when after the redistribution of the charges. So we can simply directly apply this equation. Here you need to remember that this loss of energy goes where? It goes in the joule heating of the wire. So wire gets heated up and eventually this energy is lost at the time of redistribution. There is a note that when plates of similar charges are connected with each other, like these are two capacitors, they were already charged. This was positive, this was negative, this was positive, this was negative. Charges may be same or different on them. When I am connecting them like this, then basically, or positive with connecting its positive I am connecting with positive, negative I am connecting with negative. So then put all the values Q1, Q2, V1, V2, C1, C2 as all with just positive sign. Now next is, what is if the plates of the opposite polarity are connected like this? Positive with a negative plate of the other capacitor and negative with the other plate of the positive capacitor, then charges will redistribute, right? So, but you just need to take care that take the charge and the potential of one of the plate to be negative. So, if you are writing Q2, wherever Q2 is written, you write minus Q2 over there. Wherever Q1 is written, you write, wherever V2 is written, you write minus V2 over there. So this was the redistribution of the charge. Now, combination of the parallel plates. So here we have, we are directly doing this from example. So we have plates, parallel plates, which are kept in front of each other, and eventually they are asking, find out the equivalent capacitance between these plates. What is equivalent capacitance? So we have 4 plates over here. 4 plates are kept like this, and eventually these point A is connected to 2 of them. Point B is connected to 2 of them. What you can do is, you can simply rename them. Each plate is having 2 sides, and that can be treated as 2 plates like this, connected through a wire, okay? So now this I am calling as 1 and this I am calling as 1 dash. Likewise, I'll call the second plate also as 2 and 2 dash. So I'll split that also in 2 further plates. So this is the first procedure you need to remember. So here I'm just renaming it. So this is nothing but this is 1 and 1 dash. This is 2 and 2 dash. This is 3 and this is 3 dash. This is 4 and this is 4 dash. And now just write them all like this. Just show them all like this is 1 dash, 2, 2 dash, 3, 3 dash, 4, 4 dash. Now 1 dash, 1 and 1 dash, they are connected. 2 and 2 dash are connected. 3 and 3 dash are connected. 4 and 4 dash are basically they are same plate only. Now these two are forming one of the capacitor. The plate number 1 dash and 2, they are forming this capacitor. These two are forming one capacitor. These two are forming one capacitor. The last plate, they are not forming any capacitor. You can simply leave them. And now check out the points. Point A is connected to 1 1 dash and 3 3 dash. So this is like 1 1 dash, 2 2 dash, 3 3 dash, 4 4 dash. So just point A is connected to 1 and 3. So this is my point A, which is connected to 1 1 dash, 3 3 dash is also A. What about B? B is connected to 2 2 dash and 4 4 dash. So this is my B and this is again my B. And now just redraw. So if this is C, then this is also C, this is also C. Why each and every capacitor is C? Because see, what is capacitance? Epsilon naught A by D. Epsilon naught is same for all the capacitors. Area of all the plates is equal. The distance is also equal. So I can treat them as equal capacitors. So there are 3 capacitors which are connected between point A and B only. Now I'm just putting them properly again. This is my point A. This is my point B. If you see this capacitor, this is connected directly between AB. This is done. This is again B to A. So directly from A to B or B to A. So this is another capacitor C. This is another capacitor C. Now this last one is again connected between A to B. So again connect one more between A to B. So this is the redrawing after assuming the equipotential points. And now we have 3 capacitors, all are in parallel. So total capacitance is how much? C plus C plus C. So that is 3C. And what is your C? C is epsilon naught A by D. Where epsilon naught is epsilon naught, A is the area of each of these plates and D is the separation between them. Now let us have a look at another question. This question says, find out the equivalent capacitance between A and B. So again, same type of question, just connection of A is done from different. So do the same thing. Each plate, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 plates I am drawing. So plate number 1, plate number 2, plate number 3, plate number 4. First and last, just remove them. So I am removing them from the original figure only. Done and done. Now next is give them name. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I am just 1. See, 1 is already gone. This is 1 dash. This is 2, 2 dash, 3, 3 dash. This is 4, 4 dash is like I have removed it because that won't be forming any capacitor. A is connected to 1 and 4. So 1 is like over here is like A between 1 and 1 dash. So 1 is like I have removed that from the figure. And then 4. So 4 is like 4 and 4 dash. So I have removed like that also. This is A only. So I have removed, this is again A. So A is connected between 1 and 4, right? Now this B is connected to 2 and 3. So this is point B over here. And this is again point B over here. Now just redraw. How many capacitors do we have? 1 capacitor, second and third. 1, second and third. These 3 capacitors we have. How will we connect them? Just redraw the circuit. This is A, this is B. Now, first is this capacitor connected between AB directly. And I am calling it C, or C is nothing but epsilon naught A by D. So this is D, area of each plate is A, right? So what about this? This is connected between B and B. So one capacitor is connected from B to B only. And last capacitor is connected between B to A again. So like this. Now see, they are asking equivalent capacitance between A to B. So this capacitor is connected from B to B itself. So no charge will enter and no charge will come. Okay. So these are just two capacitance. Each is having capacitance equals to C in parallel. So equivalent capacitance is going to be just C plus C, that is 2C. That is 2 and C is what? Epsilon naught A by D. What is A? A is the area of each of these plates and D is the separation which is equal in this case. If they are not equal, then they will be like C1, C2, and where C1 is epsilon naught A by D1 and C2 is like epsilon naught A by D2. Now, there is next question. This question says, find out the equivalent capacitance between A and B. Same type of question, we just need to redraw it and do it. So basically when I am redrawing it, what I am doing is, this is 1, 1 dash, 2, 2 dash, 3, 3 dash, 4, 4 dash. First capacitor is basically 1, 2, 3 and 4. I am not drawing 4 dash, just like ending over here. So now A is connected to 2. So this is like A. 1 dash and 3 dash, they are connected, but name is not mentioned. So let us call this point as C. So 1 dash is like over here. So this is C and it is connected to 3 dash also. So this is my 3 dash, that is again C. And what about B? B is connected to 4, 4 dash. So this is my B. So there are 3 capacitors, 1, 2 and 3. And there are 3 points A, B and C. So this is my A, this is my B and C I can draw anywhere else. This is my C. So this capacitor is in between C to A, right? So C to A, there is one capacitor. Then this capacitor is again, this capacitor is done. Next capacitor is A to C. So there is one more from A to C. So this is done. This is done, sorry. And this is between C and B. So C and B, there is one capacitor. So there are 2 capacitors in parallel in series with one of them. So eventually if this is C, then total is 2C and 2C and this C is nothing but 2C into C upon 3C. So eventually it is 2C by 3. So equivalent capacitance is 2 times epsilon naught A by D, 3D. So this is the equivalent capacitance of this entire system. You just redraw it, you just name them, each of the plates, you just redraw and find the equivalent. That's how it has to be done. Next question is, find out the equivalent capacitance between again A and B. So here they have given the charges also, that positive, positive. So these charges really do not matter. Thus there are 2 points. This is C points. So we will just rename and we are going to redraw the circuit. So this is how it is being done. So in front of A, there is one capacitor from A to here, one more capacitor in series, then this is like C. So C has came. So from A to C, one capacitor is there. Let me just redraw. And one more is there in parallel. So this is C again. So this and this, they are in parallel, right? So 2 capacitors and then 1 capacitor. This is like 1 capacitor from A to C. This is A to C, 2 capacitors in series. So 2 from A to C and 1 from A to C. And this is like C to B, right? So C to B, another is connected. This is, you can redraw it and at the end you can just simplify your circuit for the equivalent capacitance.